When the young man first visited his girlfriend's parents, he discovered their memorial portraits displayed on the table. Not only were their lips completely colorless, but they were also dressed in clothing from over a century ago. After asking, he learned that the portraits were of his fiancée's grandparents. His future father-in-law quickly changed the subject, saying that the young man must be exhausted from his journey and should rest immediately. Then the housekeeper brought him a cup of tea. When the young man lifted the lid, he was startled to see a large spider. The sight made the hairs on his neck stand on end. Seeing this, his girlfriend hurried forward to comfort him. His future mother-in-law explained that they lived in the mountains, so small insects often crawled inside. It must have been that the housekeeper was lazy and forgot to close the window, but the young man sensed that something was wrong, because the housekeeper's very first words upon seeing him were, "What a pity." That evening, puzzled, the young man went to his room, and his girlfriend brought him an oil lamp, claiming that there was no electricity in the house and they could only use the lamp for now. Earlier that day, she had mentioned their marriage to her parents, and her parents said he should stay a few more days to discuss the details. Upon hearing this, the young man became excited, unaware that even more peculiar events were about to unfold. The next morning, just after waking up, he saw the housekeeper kneeling on the floor holding 2 bowls of tea on her head. The young man asked the housekeeper what had happened. The housekeeper said she was being punished for not doing her job properly. The young man planned to go to his future father-in-law to plead on the housekeeper's behalf, but before he could leave the room, the housekeeper called out to him and gave him 3 pieces of advice. She told him never to go to the villa's backyard. The second piece of advice was to explore the attic, where he would find the secret he wanted to know. The third piece of advice was to under no circumstances share a room with his girlfriend, or he would surely meet his death. The housekeeper said that as long as the young man survived 7 days, he could leave. After giving him the 3 warnings, the young man looked full of doubt. The housekeeper said that that night he would be awakened by the clanking of chains and his future mother-in-law's scolding. His fiancée would sneak into his room wearing a red robe and offer him a glass of red watermelon juice. The housekeeper warned him not to drink it under any circumstances. That night, just as the young man slept soundly, he suddenly heard the sound of clinking chains, mingled faintly with voices shouting insults. Instantly, the young man was fully awake. Remembering the housekeeper's words, he got out of bed to see what was happening outside the window. Just then, his girlfriend tapped him on the shoulder from behind. Sure enough, she was wearing a red nightgown and holding a glass of watermelon juice. This sight terrified the young man. He said he was too sleepy to drink it, and he rolled over and crawled back under the covers. At breakfast the next day, his future mother-in-law handed the young man a bowl of rib soup. After taking a sip, he discovered a fingernail in the soup. He felt nauseated at once. Soon the housekeeper came over and explained that she had cut her hand while chopping vegetables, and that was how the fingernail fell into the soup. Seeing the housekeeper's wound, the young man sensed something was off, because the wound looked fresh and could not have been the source of the fallen nail. Late at night, halfway through his sleep, the young man suddenly felt thirsty, and groggily, his girlfriend brought him a glass of watermelon juice. By the time he realized what was happening, he had already taken a sip, and the next moment he drifted into unconsciousness. When he woke again, it was already the next day.